could say a big year for me because I've made a lot of changes recently in my life. I kind of guess went towards a better path. I decided anything toxic or negative in my life I'm going to get rid of. Like I spoke about getting out of my sorority to help my mental health and emotional health, like, you know, everything basically. And I got rid of any toxic friends in my life or just any negative feelings I ever had about myself or just had in my life. Like, it's all gone now. I'm not gonna say like I'm like Buddha now and I'm like so serious like into positive things. Like, obviously we all have our days and it's really hard to be positive all the time and always see like the light out of the tunnel. Like, it's so hard, especially like when people do you so wrong and you just want to be so angry and like you're like, no, like I need to be the bigger person, like I need to apologize, or like I need to forgive them for hurting me even though they don't care. You know, it's really hard being the bigger person. Like, I struggle with that. I struggle with that on the daily, trying to not be so angry all the time at people. It's definitely like you have to learn from it. It takes a while. It takes a while, but you'll get there. So anyway, I want to talk about my next major, I guess, step in my life, which was quitting my job. And this was a big deal for me because everyone who knew me was like, oh my god, like that's the girl from Ralph's. Like, every single person was like, that's the girl from Ralph's. Like, she's been there for so long, like one day she's gonna own the place, like stuff like that, whatever. I was there for like 6.5 years, like almost 7 years. I was there for so long, and like I was the only one there that worked so hard and worked so long all the time. Since I was 14 years old, I got the job there and I worked my ass off. I'd work every single day. Like, whenever my boss would need me, I was there like that. I missed funerals, I missed wakes, I missed going out with friends, I missed every single thing. I never really had, I guess, a fun childhood, I guess, in a way, because I literally, at the snap of a finger, was there for my boss. Like, when someone literally was at work one time and wanted to go to a party and like they needed someone to come in because they didn't want to be there, they wanted to party, I literally went there. Like, are you kidding me? Like, they literally left to go to a party. Like, that's pathetic. That, like, where are your priorities? But whatever. I literally went there. I worked at both of their stores for them. I worked at another place for them too, a cat shelter. I was like their right-hand gal. I basically did everything. In the store, I had to make sure everything got done, basically, because otherwise nothing would get done. So long I would be there, and I liked it because I worked there the longest, so I got all the hours. I worked every single hour that I could. Like, I got paid the most, you know, like, it was great. So I felt like on top of the world in a way, but like my boss kind of loved drama, and she would always like bring people into drama. Like, she would ask me my opinion about someone there, like that was new, and then she would go and tell them. She'd make drama all the time, tell me that I was mean and that I made people cry. She told me so many times I made people cry, and like I'm not mean like that, so like I don't know why she would say that. And then when I would ask them, like they would tell me like that never happened. So I'm like, why are you telling me that I made people cry then if that didn't happen? She would just always talk badly about me. Even about others, she would talk badly about them. But like, what? Like, when you're a boss, like, why do you want to talk bad about people? Like, it's so unprofessional, like how she was and like how she wanted to stir the pot in a sense. Like, it was just so annoying. Like, I dealt with so much. And like, when I was younger, my mom used to talk to my boss all the time because like she was just so immature, and like I'd always get into fights with her because she just treated me like crap. But as I got older, obviously, like, I had to speak for myself. And like, don't get me wrong, like, they did a lot for me, and like I did a lot for them. Like, you know, like, they got me like 2 jobs, and I got to work at the shelter also. Like, so that was great. But it was kind of annoying because like she would give me all these responsibilities and make me feel like I'm the manager, but like I never had the title of being the manager. And she'd be like, make sure like this person's doing that, make sure they're not on their phone. So then I would tell them, and then she would like say like how I'm bossy and how I'm mean. I'm like, you literally told me to do that. Like, she would always give me these responsibilities and then take them away and be like, well, like, you're being mean. And I'm like, you literally told me to do that. Like, stop telling me to tell people what to do, and then you're saying like I'm mean. Like, it's not mean. And like, it was just frustrating because like literally like so many times, like even the new people, like they would just sit on their phones and not do anything. And it's like, why? Like, can't you just do something? Like, you're at work for a reason. Like, I get it, like our boss is like chilling, like lets us be on our phone, but like you don't have to be on your phone the whole time. Like, when I first started, like things were so different. Like, you were not allowed to be on your phone at all. Like, no, like that was like no, like, which anyway, like at a job, like you shouldn't be, because like you're getting paid to work. You're not getting paid to just sit in your lazy ass and do nothing. So it was like kind of just frustrating because as I got older, like I started to see how like I was doing so much for the store and no one else would do anything. Like people would come by and I would literally be on my hands and knees cleaning the floor when like the other person would be sitting there on their phones. Like that's just how I was. I'm always the type of person to like do the best job that I can. It's not like I'm expecting like, you know, like a pat on the back or anything, but like I guess like to feel appreciated and not feel shitted on all the time. Because like my boss would like pick on me like when I'm on my phone for 1 second, meanwhile like I just worked 9 hours and like this person just came in an hour ago and like they've been on their phone the whole time, but you catch me one time and now I'm the bad person, right? Like that pissed me off. Like the new people this year, they'd be on their phones the whole time. They'd be sitting down literally when they don't even know how to make the shakes or they don't even know the Sundays, and yet it's fine, like no problem, like let them just do whatever. Definitely sucked because like I did so much for them and I got shitted on and I got made out to always be the bad person when all I was doing was looking out for the store and making it be a better store, because I would fill everything, I would clean everything, like I made sure everything was done. But then I would come in for my shift and everything would be like messy, or like I'd have to change all these tubs. My boss would be like, her excuses were always like, well, that's part of your job, or like because they're new. Just because someone's fucking new, like that's no excuse to be lazy. That is just being lazy. And I don't care if you're 14 or 15 years old and you're gonna say your excuse is like you don't know, because guess what, when I was 14 and 15 I fucking knew. I knew it, I did it. But I guess that's just the type of person I am, that I'm always like willing to do the best work and I have a good work ethic. And I guess these kids just don't, and that's just what my boss wanted. Feels like she wants the store to run down and just be shit, but like I'm not gonna like work there anymore when I've been there for so long and get shitted on, because all she would do is like yell at me, and it's like I was never doing enough, and like when I would do more, like I'd still get yelled at. And then like I would be like everyone else and not do enough and I'd still get yelled at. So like it's like I'm always getting yelled at for like something. Or like I'm working with someone and like I have to tell them what to do, like can you change this, can you do that, like what? That's not my job. But then if I don't tell them to do it and it doesn't get done, then my boss yells at me and says like, why didn't you do it? And then be like, well, you should know. Well, no, they should know too. You know, like it was just annoying because I literally had to tell everyone what to do. But then my boss is like, you're being mean and like whatever. Like, no, that's not being mean. And it just wasn't fair. I felt like everything fell onto me, and it was like she relied on me so much and was like, no problem, like it'll get done because Ashley's there. Like Ashley will get it done, like no problem. Like that's not how it should be. It should be fair to everyone. Everyone should have a part in it. And it's not fair that she always yelled at me and made me to be the bad person when I was literally the hardest worker she could ever have. And I know that. And I'm never going to say that I'm sorry for quitting and for leaving the way that I did, because I'm not sorry. I'm proud of myself because I took her bullshit for way too long, because I know my worth and I know my worth ethic, and I know that I could find a job any place that I wanted to and get paid 10 times more and not have to work my ass off and get treated like shit. Because you know what, that's literally how she was to me. And it's just not fair, and how she approaches things and how she is, she's just very unprofessional, and it's just not a way that a boss should ever talk to someone or should even act. Half the time she didn't even know what to say. She'd have to speak to someone else because she literally didn't know what to say because she acted like a little child. And it just sucks that like the people that I work with too, that they're just lazy. I wish they weren't, you know, like it was kind of hard always carrying around the team. And I know that sounds cocky of me, but it's 100% true. And everyone knows that I work the best and that I have an amazing ethic. Everyone knows it. So there's really nothing else to say. For all those people wondering why I still left, I left because I'm not going to be in a situation anymore where it's just toxic and negative. There's better things out there for me. I don't need to sit here and honestly be with little kids, because now like at my time in my life I'm looking at real jobs in a way. I don't really want to work with like high school kids, especially the new kids that came in, like they were very immature and just super young. And I just really don't want to be working with them anymore. I'm older now. I was there for a long time and it definitely was like a good first job to have, but I've moved on. And like I said, I'm not going to be in a situation where I'm just treated like shit, because I know my worth and I know I deserve to be treated with respect and not the way that I was treated. And there's not one moment of my life that I could ever say that I regret leaving, because I think that was one of the best decisions I ever made, especially standing up for myself, because I never stood up for myself before. Before I left my sorority, I like, if I never left my sorority, I probably still would be at my job right now, because that gave me the courage, honestly, to build up, to be able to leave, because it really showed me, like, I'm not going to stay somewhere where I'm unhappy. And I was unhappy. I wasn't happy because I was not being treated right. And honestly, like, you have to surround yourself with people that have the same vibe as you and want the same things as you. And, like, the people I was being surrounded with, they were just lazy and didn't really care about the store and were unproductive, and that's just not people I want to be around. I want to be around people that are productive and want to keep it moving, you know, want to be positive, want to, you know, like, not just sit there on my phone and be lazy, or sit there and eat dinner and then when a customer is there, I'd be like, how can I help you, with food in my mouth? Like, that's just disgusting. There's so many times when I just couldn't handle it, you know, like, you get to a certain point where it's just like, you're done, you know, and I was done. So yeah, so I quit my job and have not been happier. It's given me so much more free time, and I can do so many other jobs now and make more money for less work, honestly, because I worked my ass off and didn't make a lot of money still. So honestly, it's the best thing that's ever happened to me, and I couldn't be more grateful that I made this decision.